welcome again, I Ching, Tomasa, and Chu. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday. Hope the semester is going quite swell, and welcome to the first alternative assessment student portfolios workshop this semester. And it looks like Ludmila has just joined. So welcome,
I'm sorry,
Ludmila, as well.
I,
No
I
worries, we're
cannot
just
make my
beginning.
system working. Sorry.
We're right on time. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. All right. Let me go forward with the slide here. So welcome again to Student Portfolios. This is the first of its kind for our faculty workshop here with alternative assessments. Here's a little overview of what we're going to be talking about today. And let's go ahead and start with the first one with something very simple, but just for the purposes of this training, we're going to go ahead and rename our Zoom names. Okay, so if I go forward, notice that in the bottom left, all right, here in the Zoom, I don't see my program name right after me. Okay. In order to get this at the end of the name, if you don't have it already, there's a little button up at the top with participants, and you can change it to any one of these sort of forms right here. Because I work with the Center for Teaching and Learning, I've used the acronym for CETL. Feel free to use your very own. But if you don't see it, as I just mentioned, if we go to the very top and we click on the More button, click on the More button and you should see the option to rename. If you don't see the More button, make sure that the participants icon at the bottom, make sure you click on that and you should see the participants panel over on the right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just...
Okay. And if you would like the shortcut for the participants panel, you can go ahead and hit Command U on a MacBook or Control U on a Windows machine. And that's how you do a simple rename in the Zoom account. So if you're ever doing an assignment with your students live, if you would like them to be in specific groups or anything like that, keep that in mind for renaming your classroom, okay? So let's begin. Again, that's just a simple little exercise just to see where we're coming from, and we continue with that. So traditional versus alternative assessment. Ludmila, can you tell me a little bit, what do you see in this image right here? What's going on?
Well, students are taking a test, I guess. Test in progress is what it says. And it has always textbooks lying on the floor, so hiding, I guess. They're not allowed to use textbooks, right? So it's possibly sort of cheating.
Possibly cheating, right? There's a good word right there. That's one of the ones. Chu?
Yes.
Anything you can add to this image right here? What else do you see? So Ludmila just mentioned that possibly the student is cheating. I think possibly.
Oh, for me, it's just an open book test. It's not, for me, I did not explain it as cheating. I think it's just students are allowed to use any kind of sources to, for the test.
Up to the instructor's discretion. If you do make it open book, absolutely. Yeah, but this image specifically, just because of how the student is looking a little bit suspicious, I would say something along the lines that the student is cheating. So maybe not
books are on the floor. Why don't have books on the desk?
Right.
So, that makes sense.
So if you as instructor, if you are allowing your students to be open book, completely fine. But let's stay away from there. Let's pretend that you have assigned your students to create, to have an exam that's closed book. You just want them to be. What are some ways that we can do? And this is where alternative assessments come into play. Other forms of assessing your students in order to avoid this sort of scenario. Okay. So this picture right here, if you've seen it before, is actually part of the email that we sent out earlier. Is my online test reliable? Is it valid? And I have another question for you guys. And so Ludmila and Chu, how are you guys currently assessing your students at the moment? Or how do you plan to if you haven't done so already?
Oh, yeah. I gave them weekly quizzes. I gave them examinations. I gave them discussion forum and case assignments and project assignments for the whole semester.
Okay, very good. And do you do a lot of this through Canvas? The Canvas
all post. That's right. All through Canvas. All right. Through Canvas. Everything. That's right. And then for my quizzes and examinations, all are open book.
I see. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Ludmila?
Well, I'm also giving my students regular quizzes And we're actually having another next quiz on Monday with one group and another one on Thursday. And one group using WebAssign, which I must say a little bit pain in the neck. Still, I think they don't provide any proper, I wish they provide anything like you do. Just horrible what they work. Wouldn't recommend Engage and WebAssign if you're choosing textbook. I have very bad experiences.
Understood.
But anyway, it's what I do. I give the students quizzes and basically and homeworks. And for homeworks, also one group doing it via WebAssign and another group I'm just posting basically a list of problems and post back solutions.
Okay. And I'm guessing through Canvas as well, right?
Everything is through Canvas because we're not allowed to see students in person, actually.
Okay, very good.
I tried and it was no success.
Right. So again, here, welcome. Alternative assessments, right? So I have a little table here of traditional assessments and alternative assessments. If we think about the different types of assessment that we do on Canvas, we can consider those most as traditional. There are some features within Canvas that can be considered alternative, but let's just go ahead and take a look down here at this table. So very quickly, the traditional assessment, I'm looking over here first. The purpose is to evaluate if the students have learned the content, to determine whether the students are successful in acquiring knowledge, to ascribe a grade for them, and to rank and compare them against standards or other learners. One of the purposes of traditional assessment, okay, such as an exam or quiz. When we take a look at alternative assessment, such as this portfolio, a project, or some other form, to measure students' proficiency by asking them to perform real-life tasks, to provide students many avenues to learn, and to demonstrate best what they've learned, to guide instruction, to provide feedback, and to help students manage their own learning, and to also evaluate students' competencies, right? So a little different, okay? Assessment is separated from teaching and learning. Tests may come after instruction to evaluate if the students have successfully learned the content. Assessment is integrated with instruction. Assessment activities happen all throughout instruction to help students improve their learning and help teachers improve the classroom experience. This portfolio that I'm going to be showcasing today does fall along these lines right here. For traditional assessment, it requires students to practice cognitive ability to recall, recognize, or reconstruct body of knowledge that has been taught. Whereas an alternative assessment provides opportunities for students to grow, to construct meaning, new knowledge out of what has been taught. And last but not least, right here at the very bottom, for traditional assessment, teachers serve as evaluators and students as the evaluatees. So it's very teacher-centered, right? And for alternative assessment, it involves and engages students in the teaching, learning, and assessment process, more student-centered. Okay. Questions, thoughts? We'll talk about these as we move along. Okay. Just a little bit of background info. Okay. So the learning objectives for today, Ludmila. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that, it's very much based on, I actually do have an end of course project, which is, I guess, falling into your alternative assessment things, at least for one of my class, especially for labs. I want them to do project about the end of a class and present it. And thank you for reminding me that I
absolutely. The beauty of a portfolio like this, it could be integrated at any point. It could be at the very beginning,
okay.
Really any point. It's just how you'd like to execute it. Okay.
Right.
So Ludmila, before you leave, the learning objective.
No, I'm not leaving.
By the end of this workshop, can you please go ahead and read the first bullet point right here?
Understand the benefits and an alternative assessment methods like a student portfolio may bring to their course.
Thank you very much. Tomasa, can you do the second?
Navigate through Office 365 for a more seamless experience with collaborating with students.
Thank you very much. Ichi?
Be able to troubleshoot problem areas and avoid them before happening.
Chu?
Work with those in attendance to replicate a sample activity.
And then I'll finish off. Receive feedback on possible iterations and be inspired to sign up for more trainings with CEDAW, us right here, okay? Because we can only move forward from here. Hopefully this sparks some ideas and we create some very beautiful moments for ourselves. So keeping these learning objectives in mind, there's actually more portfolio types out there, but we've really made them concise and put them down here into these 5 different categories, okay? First portfolio type, a process or developmental portfolio, which empowers students to self-direct their learning. It shows the growth and development of the learner. So this one right here, just like as I mentioned earlier, this could be something that you can introduce at the very beginning and you work across the semester, which is developmental or a process portfolio, okay? A showcase portfolio is a collection of best achievements. If you do these quizzes, Chu, as you mentioned, these weekly quizzes, maybe you can have some sort of alternative assessment that only showcases these perhaps scores or their final products for the quiz. An assessment portfolio shows the accomplishments over time. A reflective portfolio helps the student write down thoughts and emotions in the learning process, which can later be used as tools for reflective practice. And a working portfolio demonstrates ongoing work and learning. The portfolio that I'm going to showcase here today, the sample, does include many of these combined, okay? So don't feel like you only have to do one. You can definitely combine these different types. All right. So without further ado, any questions before we move on? I know there's a lot of text, but now we're going to get into the samples and actual doing. So this will make much more sense. Okay. All right, so let's move on to these portfolio samples. All right, so before I even get into them, just a little background information. Right here, there's a big happy classroom. This is me up here in the very top row, second column. I taught at the University of San Francisco. The course was called Media Lab, and in this class, we focus on creating a screencast portfolio. All right, so I did have some communication with the former professor of this course. However, because we're in this new world of Zoom, it was up to me to sort of decide how am I going to really engage the students in a way where they feel like they're as connected as can be, even though they're all in different parts of the country, actually. All right, so this was my class right here. In total, I had about 18 live Zoom students and then 4 completely asynchronous students. So it was interesting to manage them. With that in mind, straight from the syllabus, this is what I had for the course. The purpose of this course is to explore how to make visuals that enhance student learning. Towards that end, the course explores illustrations, photographs, mind maps, and other visual products. However, the central focus of the course will be on creating screencasts. These are video presentations created by capturing whatever's on the computer screen, such as websites, a slide deck presentation, and so on. Right? So screencast, if you've ever gone on YouTube if you've ever searched how to and you've searched on YouTube, those videos are considered screencasts because they're showing you how to do this sort of step-by-step. Okay, so this was the course. These were the students. I was the instructor, and we made a portfolio out of it. Okay, so I'd like to show you some of their students' work, but before I show you those examples, I like to keep one thing in mind. Ludmila, what do you see on the screen here? Not a trick question.
Clouds, beautiful clouds.
Beautiful clouds, right? So there's a little thing called cloud storage. And not to confuse it, because we are switching user interfaces. At the University of San Francisco, we use Google Drive. Here at Holy Names University, we use OneDrive, okay? So we're going into Google Drive land just for a moment, just for the purposes of the sample, okay? I would like to make that very clear because it is gonna look a little bit different. We use Google Slides, not Microsoft PowerPoint. All right, Holy Names, we use OneDrive, but at USF, we use Google Drive. All right, any questions there? Things will look a little bit different.
I must admit, I know nothing about OneDrive. It's one thing I need training about. I never consciously used it, put it this way. And
it's a wonderful feature to benefit from. It was one of the first things that I did when I joined as a staff member here. And I know that you get 1 terabyte of cloud storage included with your account. So do take advantage.
So if you can possibly kind of show how to use it and what I can get from it, I would love to.
Sure thing. I love it. Absolutely.
And I have no idea. I always confuse with Google Drive. People send things to Google Docs, whatever. And
there's also iCloud and Dropbox, but let's leave that for another time. So I'll definitely follow up with you there, Ludmila. Thank you. So I went back again. I had 22 student portfolios in the end. Here are just some of the examples that I like to show you some more. So we had gamifying your course. We had a screencast about iMovie tutorials, mathematics, ordering Chinese food, and portrait drawing. Chu, Ludmila, I Ching, Tamasa.
Yeah, I look at mathematics. It's definitely close to my heart.
Mathematics. All right, well, we'll go ahead and take a look at the mathematics example.
Gamifying, it's another thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me go ahead and switch screens right here. Let me make this the live one. There we go. And then let me make this screen a little bit bigger because I know I work in the zoomed out version. Scale. All right, so I'm going into mathematics. Again, this is Google Drive, right? So here we go, right off the bat. Ludmila, what do you think? Pretty nice?
Yeah, it looks nice.
This is using Google Slides. Keep that in mind. Again, one of the things that I love to also say and suggest as instructors, as PowerPoint creators, never feel afraid of going outside of the bounds, right? Because when you hit share, it's not share, presents. When we go back and present, only what's on the slide is what you're going to see. It's going to crop everything out. So I want to continue with that in mind. Don't be afraid to go outside of the slides. So right here is just a simple title slide. It's the student's name and their portfolio overview, the class name and the course number. She titled it All About Integers. She is a mathematics teacher in the city of Salinas. So she's out there. We're still in touch, actually. So that's very nice. Her specific audience were her students. So she was able to directly impact them. She would create the screencast and then show it to the students. And it was a very nice environment for all of us, actually. All right. There's her audience. But now I want to go over into slide number 7. And Chu, tell me some of the things that you're noticing on the slide right here before I zoom out. What sticks out? What do you notice?
I think it's student can click on the button. So the button, the clicking will lead student to video clips. That's what I believe. Is that true?
These are video clips that are integrated and upload. Very good. So we have videos. Okay, great. Anything else?
Well, it's interactive because students can click on slides.
I love it. Yes. And so, yes, also another point, every student had access to everybody's slides at all times. Okay. It was a shared folder. It was a lot of scaffolding really at the beginning of the semester. There was one main folder and then all the students' name in that folder. And then I would share that with the whole class, just that main one. Okay. Google and Microsoft you're able to track the changes. And so if anybody ever deletes something, you can see who did what. But students are pretty good about that. I didn't have any issues there. But anything else? We have the interactivity, the videos, Iching.
And I also see other classmates' comments in this slide.
Right. So again, outside of the slides, you notice these little colored, I call them sticky notes, but they're shapes. They're just shapes. Okay. And so part of the assignment, each video was worth a substantial amount of points actually, because there were just so many different areas. And so as part, not only did the students create the screencast and upload them to the slide right here, just for reference, this top video is a draft. The bottom one is the final, which was uploaded to YouTube, created a playlist, so on and so forth. But over here on the left and the right, and let me zoom out, up at the top, 3 students were assigned to comments, watch the drafts, make their comments, and 3 things that they liked, 3 things that could improve. So wording is also something to consider when you assign students to help each other, right? But not only that, so at the very bottom, this was an important take to consider as well. Over here at the bottom, I would watch the students' videos, record myself in a screencast, and then provide that feedback for them. So many, many layers of interactivity and engagement. It was up to them then by the end of the semester. So again, we're going back to the portfolio types of process portfolio, an accomplishment portfolio, right? This was their final based on all of the feedback here. Okay. So, and then that was the template. I gave the students the directions. They created their screencast, and every single module had the same instructions. Just that as the semester went along, we learned new things and we're supposed to apply the new concepts. Okay. Questions on that? Would you like to see another example, or is this pretty good? They're fairly similar in structure, but they're just different topics.
Can we see a template? Did you give student any template?
So if I remember correctly, there's one of them here called, which one was it? iMovie tutorial, probably this one. Let me take a quick look. So notice these right here, they're very well designed, right? With the color and everything. Nope, not this one. Gamifying.
But did you give students templates, or they created everything from scratch?
Nope, I created the student's template actually right here. So we go to slide number 13. This was a template that I gave the students, and then they would duplicate the slide every time they were supposed to create one. Actually, no, I had duplicated it for them. If they created more videos, then they duplicated it. But here it is. Over on the left, a student's name. Over on the right, another student's name. 3 things they liked. There we go. So this is what that looked like. And have no fear, I do have an activity very similar to this using Microsoft PowerPoint that we'll be doing next.
Are they compatible with Google Slides and Microsoft PowerPoint? Can they be converted from one form to another?
Yes, you just want to be very careful because of formatting. When you create something in one of the keynotes, Google Drive, PowerPoint, if you open it in another, it might remove animations, transitions, and other formats.
So they're not very compatible.
It's compatible, but it might not do what you want it to do. Okay. Any other questions on this? These are just examples, okay? So we're going to be leaving Google Drive, and now we're going into Microsoft OneDrive, all right? So let me go back to the PowerPoint presentation, and we're going into the group activity now. So this is a slide that I'll be sharing with you guys very, very shortly, okay? It starts with slide number 8. What you see before slide number 8 are just templates for you to use later on. If you choose to do so, I'll be providing you one with that as well. But this is just the template. Let me talk about it very briefly. Starting with slide number 9, these are example student learning outcomes that you can use and adapt for your own class. But I'm going to go to slide number 10. Let me go ahead and make this bigger. Oh, you like this too? All right, we're best friends. Absolutely. I love it too. So this activity right here, this is the first one that we're going to do. It's very simple, just again for the concepts, majority for the concept. So Ludmila, you already mentioned you see the eggplants. What else do you see? There's 4 main sort of objects here. There's 4. We have the image.
Sound.
We have sound. Very good.
And kind of comment, explanation. Right?
The comments and the title. Very good. So we have the title. We have the comment, sort of a description of the image. And then we have sound right here. Okay. So these are the 4 different areas I really want to focus on for this demo activity. So keeping that in mind, I've already gone ahead and made the different groups. Let me see how it works out. I might be putting into breakout rooms so you can be working with each other. But let me think about that as I share it. So this slide right here, your slide is going to look just like this. All right. Let me go ahead and share it now. This is the template. All right. If you click on that link, does it open in the web?
Link is in the chat.
I put the link in the Zoom chat.
So are we supposed to click on this link now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah.
So does it take you to the web version of PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Please make sure that you open this on the desktop version because there are actually some limitations with the web version and the desktop version. Up at the very top right, please make sure that it has your initials and that you're signed in. Over here on the left, if you click on File, you should see a tab that says Info after you've signed in. And then please open in Desktop App. Group 1, I Ching, and okay, so to make this simple, because not everybody. Oh, Ludmila says you've joined. So
I think I did, yes.
I'll put Iching, Tomasa, and Chu. I'll put you guys into a breakout room. What I'd like you guys to do is recreate something that looks very similar to this. I'd like you to go online, find a picture of your favorite food. Please enter that image here. Give us the title of the food and a small description of what it is, okay? Iching, you can be 14, Tomasa 15, and Chu, you can be slide 16. I'll put you guys into breakout rooms. Ludmila, I'll work with you here in this main session, okay? Welcome back, everybody. Hope was that. So how was that?
Exciting.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To learn something new.
Right. So this is the power. Keep in mind, this is all through OneDrive and the cloud. Because this is uploaded to the cloud, those beautiful clouds, right? Because this is uploaded, that gives you access and sharing permissions. This is very, very different from sharing a PowerPoint through email or through Canvas. Because you share a PowerPoint through email or Canvas, it's just a default application. You can't edit it. Like everybody would have to do it and then re-upload it. Doing something like this is a live, engaging activity, right? So very quickly, Iching, I'm just looking at Iching's assignment right here, but notice right here, I created this PowerPoint. I can see who's in at the moment. I can see where everybody is at the time. This is live, right? And so Iching, very good. Favorite food is dim sum. And picture right here, making hungry. And then dim sum is a large range of small dishes that are traditionally enjoyed in restaurants for breakfast and lunch, okay? So we have the title, we have the description, we have the image. And something I actually forgot to notice, or actually share with you before I put you into the breakout rooms. I forgot to assign you this, but again, because of the timing for now, we can just overview it really quickly. In addition to this, as an instructor, you would instruct the students to go ahead and 3 notes of appreciation or 3 notes of improvement, very similar to the stamp I was showing you earlier up here, right? Feel free to adapt this however you'd like. Add more students, delete students, have 1 or 2, and change the wording, but it's there for you already. And if you go scroll down to the very bottom, here's your instructor's feedback sticky notes as well. All right. So this template is there for you to use, be inspired from, and adapt. Okay. So let me see how we're doing on time. Let me cover over some things a little bit more, and then we'll be up for discussion. So we have the image, we have the title, and the description. What's missing?
Sound.
The sound, right? So here is the major drawback, one of the major drawbacks or limitations of using the web version of PowerPoint. You can do, for activity number 1, everything that was done, you can actually do on the web. However, if we go into that extra layer of engagement and want to include voiceovers, you do have to be on the desktop version. I don't know if Windows will ever make that update to make it available on the web, but it's only on the desktop application for now. How do we add sound? If we go over to the insert ribbon in PowerPoint, at the very top right in the ribbon, you'll see in the media group audio. There's an option here to record your audio, and PowerPoint has this wonderful feature to just record yourself right here live. If you want to give your own feedback like this, feel free to record your voice. You can stop at any time, insert, and then just place it wherever you'd like. Again, changing and breaking the bounds of traditional assessments, okay? Adding these layers of engagement, as we said. All right. So let me see. 12:50, we're pretty good on time right here. Just again, very quickly, if you're using video, if we share videos through in our classes over Zoom, this is my own video right here, actually. This is me that I recorded. However, if you do include videos from YouTube or your own, also be aware of the different features that PowerPoint provides for you. As soon as you click on the video itself, you have video format and playback. I want to focus on the playback ribbon. And so you have things like loop until stopped. So once the video, if it's a very short video, you want it to loop. If students are working on their own thing, you just want some instruction, you can loop it. You can only do this on a video that you've uploaded yourself. Okay, so there are differences also with rewind after playing. Be familiar with the different features if you do show videos, because I know that's one of the things that instructors do, share videos, right? So feel free to watch that on your own very quickly. It's a Zoom feature on iPad right now. If you do a thumbs up, Zoom can actually notice and it gives a thumbs up. And if you do if you raise your hand, it also gives a little timer and it does the hand raise.
I don't see where I can raise my hand.
For now, Unfortunately, it's only on iPad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's there. It's a feature. It's fun. Hopefully, it'll be integrated on the desktop version soon. Okay, that's the video format. So almost to end this off, not department names, but Iching, you could be Department 1, Ludmila. You can be Department 2, Tomasa 3, and Chu. You can be 4. Sorry, I should have put your names. I'll do these names as you work. But please go ahead and here, type out what you learned, something that you appreciated. Yeah, any thoughts and feedback here?
So where?
One second.
Oh,
I forget that.
Oh. Oh.
Right, so we're seeing the edits live, right? So you can definitely have some activity like this in class.
Oh, so there is an option to allow students to type on the slides in class.
Right, so again, it's breaking the barriers of PowerPoint. How can we use PowerPoint alternatively?
It would be wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, you say PowerPoint, automatically you think of slides, right? But it can be a very engaging tool to use during class.
Oh my God, I want to learn about it. It would be great if students could, because I'm asking them often, oh, please type your answer or your solutions and they in chat. Maybe if I had a slide and they could interact, they would be more proactive.
So if you ever do Canvas discussions, you can also think about having something like this.
Exactly.
It can be
I can't find a way to make students to interact during.
So yeah, you can do this live. Share the PowerPoint with them and go from there.
But first I need to learn how to create one. Okay.
Yeah, first we need to sign in. That's step
sign
one.
In, yeah.
So very good. To end this off, I just wanted to, I'll share a little bit more resources and then we'll leave it up for questions. Okay. All right, so any questions? I should probably put that in here. Questions, comments, concerns as a title. So Iching, would you care to just read the first or second bullet point?
Yes. So I like that we can actually use this shared PowerPoint portfolio as a way to assess our students' learning. I'm missing a word there. Assess our students' learning, but also encourage student interactions.
Yeah.
I think that's a big issue, especially now we are offering our courses in online formats due to COVID. So I think it has been a big issue for many instructors. We are trying to figure out a way to encourage, to engage our students while at the same time encourage interaction among the learners, students. So I really enjoy this. But so I had conversation with Chu Chen earlier. We are curious. So what are some other types of documents we might also?
Yeah, I see Word here. Yes, you can definitely do this in Word as well. Same steps, just a different interface because you're in Microsoft Word. You'll see the share button up here. As long as you're signed in, you should see the same steps that I do. You're going to go ahead and do any one with the link. Allow edit. You apply it. Copy the link. Copy it. And then send that in the Zoom chat if you're doing it live. So you'll see the same thing in Word. Yeah, so a very popular option is like Google Docs. I know Google Docs, it's just very simple. A lot of folks are familiar with the interface there, but you can do the same thing with Microsoft and Apple Pages.
Oh, this looks like great.
Yeah, no, I love it. And so what's next? What are some next steps right here that you can consider? Please reach out and make an appointment with me to create a portfolio for your own students. If you'd like to get together, I love bouncing ideas and creating just thinking wild, right? Because this is for not just for you, it's for your students as well. Students are happy, you're happy, students are happy, and it's a great time. So please reach out. I'd love to work with you and adapt this portfolio so it could be your own. Please visit our CETL Workshops SharePoint site for more information on upcoming trainings. Revisit the session material from today in the Alternative Assessments SharePoint page. I'll be sharing that with you very shortly.
And what is SharePoint page?
I'll share that with you right now. And then you get a refresher or learn more about tools you can use to conduct traditional assessments online. So let me go ahead and copy and paste those links for you right here.
And how can we save these links? So I would love to save them. Just
absolutely. So
store them.
If you simply, there it is in the Zoom chat right there. If you'd like to make another appointment, or see if you click on CETL Workshops, right?
Yeah.
If you click on CETL Workshops, you'll see a page that looks just like this, correct? So our CETL Workshops page is not just, it's from CETL, our homepage here, but if you scroll over to the very right, there's the CETL Workshops page. For now, this is a growing page, okay? So do please keep that in mind. But if you go into the Alternative Assessments widget right there, notice that this is, again, just like the homepage, this is also growing. You'll get more information. Please click on Adaptable PowerPoint Templates. I've already gone ahead and created a template for you to use. It's designed and it's there for you to adapt it. Okay, so it's there, it's empty, free for you to use it however you'd like. There's a PDF of the slides that we went over right here. It is a shortened version of the slides. And then if you want more information on installing OneDrive, there's that as well. Last but not least, Ludmila, we can stick around for you. But Chu, because you are the other faculty member here, if you can go and that link right there, Chu, I just sent it in the Zoom chats. It's a feedback form for this workshop right here. If you can please go ahead and offer any feedback, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you want easier access, there's also a QR code. You can stick your phone to this, your camera, and it'll direct you to the same.
Really? Is it, I want to save this code. I can take picture of it, I guess. Can I take it as a picture?
Yeah.
Oh.
Say cheese.
Oh, yes, it's taken me, but also I want to.
So QR codes is another thing that you can integrate into your own courses. Use them wisely. A lot of information, but we have, it's just the start. If you'd like any additional information, please feel free to reach out. More than happy to help. I do want to be mindful of your time as well. We're a little bit over time, but thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day and weekend, and look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Yi-Ching, too.